What's up, guys? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I hope you're all doing well. We are back at it in the Cessna 172. We are in Tampa. We'll be departing from Petersburg, a little small executive airport there on the bay, and we'll be flying over to St. Petersburg to practice flying the VOR approach for Runway 4. So that's basically what we want to work on today, is just getting a little bit more practice on instrument approaches and stuff like that. So we're sitting on the runway, we're ready to go. Let's knock the brakes off and open the throttle and we'll get rolling. And it is finally Friday. The weekend is upon us. I hope you guys are excited about that, or have plans, or whatever it is you got going on. All right, we're up. We're up and on our way. It's once again, we've got, it's not too bad of a day here in Tampa, but we've got the usual Microsoft Flight Simulator thunder and lightning for regular cloudy days. So I don't know what's up with that. Hopefully they'll get that fixed soon enough, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, here we are, Tampa. Now this is going to be, ooh, that lightning. That's pretty bad lightning for no clouds. I mean, no thunderstorms, you know. So we're going to be climbing out to 3,000 feet. Wow, wind just bumped me around like crazy. Holy crap. All right, we're going to be climbing out to 3,000 feet with a flight level change. And once we get to 3,000 feet, we'll start tuning in our VOR and that kind of stuff. We're taking off to the northeast right now. Yeah, oh, look at there, cruise ship in Tampa. That's pretty cool. Very nice. This is the first time I've really flown around downtown Tampa, so this is it's new to me. We'll continue climbing out. Looks like Rockport over there. And we'll proceed on course. We'll head to the east to get some altitude, then we'll fly back across the bay and head towards St. Petersburg. All right, let's see. Let's get this all set up. So of course, it's going to take some VOR navigation. That's what we're practicing, the VOR navigation, VOR approaches, that sort of thing. I've watched some good videos the past few days at some webinars that have really given me a lot of insight as far as that kind of stuff. And I think that's going to help out. I have a better understanding, and I'm going to look that up and see what it is. It's going to be Bold Method is the YouTube channel. Watch his channel. I want to say he's an airline pilot. He also is a certified flight instructor, and he's got a lot of really good videos on, like I'm looking at one right now, how to start an instrument approach, how to brief an instrument approach, when can you go below the MDA or DA on instrument approach. What else? Let's see, what else you got? Holding pattern entries, the difference between LPV, LNAV, and VNAV. He's got all kind of videos, and they're all really good and well done. These are all done from live streams. He takes questions during the live stream, so people ask pretty, good questions about what they're doing, and it's really seemed to help me a lot. The last video we did, I had a few questions like when you could start and when you could start your descent on final, when you could like be done with your initial descent. Those are some of my two of the main questions that I had. And from what I understand, you have to be established on your final course to land before you can start that final segment, that final descent. But you can descend to that initial altitude into your procedure turn. If I'm understanding that correctly, you can do that. So those were two of the big questions that I had. All right, we will pull the power back a little bit. Kind of thought about doing this in the 152. Now, I don't think the 152 is DME equipped, which that would mean we would have to fly a speed like 90 knots and we would have to time it. You know, time off the VOR and that sort of thing. So that would be, that's like really old school and really advanced level stuff. So we might try that sometime, but I don't think, we're not going to do it this trip. Not this trip at all. All right, the first thing we need to do is we need to set our CDI. So we're going to go to VOR 1. We're going to go to the PFD. We're going to bring up DME. And we're going to bring up wind as well. I like option 3, looks the best to me. And then we're going to tune our VOR. So our VOR, the St. Petersburg VOR for that particular approach is, let's see here, 116.4. So that is what we need to dial in. 114.56. And we'll go, no, that's not what I want. There we go. All right, 116.4, there we go. Get the throttle back a little bit there. And we'll swap it over. There we go, 116.4 pi. Easy as pie. That's the PIE is the St. Petersburg VOR, so we've got that tuned in. And now we want to track inbound. So we need to adjust our course. But we do not need to adjust our barometric pressure. And I hate it that those two knobs are like centered on, they're on the same knob. You know, it's really easy to get off and like really jack up your barometric pressure, or if you're trying to adjust your barometric pressure to adjust, you know, mess up your course. So there we go. We could track it due west. So that's what we're going to do. We'll turn back to the west. And we'll track it inbound. And then when we get established on that, we'll kind of go through the VOR approach for runway 4. Can't talk. All right, let's keep our turn going here. On to the west. Westward we need to go. We'll go a little bit, we'll stop a little bit short of it so we can grab the radial. No particular radial that I'm looking for, we just kind of want to go that direction. And you see it's already centering up. And yeah, it's crazy. VORs are becoming a thing of the past. And I mean, the last time I was in the flight simulation, those were a big part of flying. You know, the VORs were still very prevalent, and when I was looking for airports to do another practice VOR approach, I had to look. Like I really had to look to find something. You know, and not just that, but like finding something that the wind favored that particular approach. Let's go ahead and set this to nav mode. That favored that approach. You know, it's like I could find a few VOR approaches here and there, but the winds didn't favor that particular approach. And so, you know, and a lot of airports just don't have it. Like it's all RNAV now. So, you know, VORs are starting to become a thing of the past. NDBs are definitely becoming a thing of the past. I did find 2 NDB approaches that we may have to try sometime. I think that would be really super cool to try those out. So we may do that at some point. Let's get back out of that as well. And we're going to bring our speed back. We want to do about 90 knots. I want to be established doing 90 knots when we hit the VOR and then track outbound. So what we need to do, we'll fly over the St. Petersburg VOR. Now, I kind of messed that up, I think, in the last video. I think I cut the corner a little bit or something, or maybe I was planning on doing it. But I think, like I said, if I'm reading into this right, you need to cross the VOR or the initial approach fix, whatever it is. Our initial approach fix for this particular approach is going to be the St. Petersburg VOR. So you have to cross it. And a lot of times what ATC will do is they will say cross St. Petersburg VOR at or above 3,000 feet, cleared for the VOR runway 4 approach. So they give you an altitude to cross it at. You have to cross it. So we will cross it, and after we cross it, we will have to track outbound on the 219 radial. And we'll track outbound for a few miles, about 5 miles, and then we'll start our procedure turn. We'll turn 45 off that course, fly for a minute, do a 180, come back in, intercept the 039 radial, and start our descent. That's like in its most basic form. We're 12 miles outside of 12 nautical miles outside of St. Petersburg, so we got a little time to kind of go over this and figure it out. Missed approach is climbing left turn to 1,700 feet, direct Kapok, locator outer marker, and hold. That won't be a problem. When we track outbound, we will descend to 1,700 feet. And we have to be at 1,700 feet before we can turn back inbound. We have to be established on the 039 radial before we can descend from 1,700 feet. So we can go down to 1,700. We can even continue our descent through the procedure turn. I think last time I was at the altitude before the turn. Like, I made it a point to be at that altitude before the turn, but you know, watching his videos, you can actually descend through the turn too. You just can't go past that initial altitude, that first descent. Then once you get established on your inbound, then you can go ahead and start your descent on final. So that's where we stand. That's my little bit of a better understanding at this point. It's not easy stuff. It's not easy stuff to understand, you know, and all this is just what I'm picking up here and there, watching videos and reading things and stuff like that. I'm not a real life pilot, nothing like that. So, you know, I'm not giving instructions or anything. This is just basically just me kind of figuring it out. You guys watching along, if you're wondering that, you know, if you have the same kind of questions that I have, then, you know, maybe we can all figure it out together. But that's basically what we're doing. And our minimums for this, which isn't a problem today, of course, clear weather today, is 1,000 feet and 1.25 miles. That's pretty. That's a pretty high minimum. That's a lot more than the approach we flew at Los Alamitos the other day. It went a lot further down. This one doesn't for some reason. I imagine because of maybe the skyscrapers across the bay. No, that wouldn't be a problem because that's outside of 10 miles. We have to stay within 10 nautical miles of the PIE vortex, St. Petersburg vortex. So that's a big thing too. We have to stay within 10 nautical miles. And from what I saw in the video the other day, if you go outside that 10 nautical miles in your approach, then you have to go missed. You know, you could try to continue on, he said, you know, and maybe hope that the controller didn't notice. But you really should go missed. He's like, if your approach is not going right, if you're having issues and you broke the limits of the you know, the lateral navigation or the limits of the radius that you have to stay in, let's say it that way, then you really need to start over. You need to go to the hold and hold for a bit and kind of get it back together and give it another shot. Now, in a simulator, we don't have to worry about that because there's no consequences. You know, in sims, you tend to do a lot more dangerous things maybe than you would in, of course, in real life. You know, because your life depends on what you're doing. But we're going to try to do this as real as possible. We're going to try to keep it, you know, as best we can. So we're going to do 90 knots. And we're getting ready. We're at 4.4 nautical miles. So at this point, we got to track the, as soon as we go over, we have to track the 219 radial outbound. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to cross the VOR and then head 219. And see, we're 3.8 now. Let's see, our winds are out of 0.96 at 26 knots, so pretty good wind. Pretty good little wind there. Nice tailwind. All right, 3.1 nautical miles. We can look around a little bit. Let's see the western shore, I guess, of the bay there, the old Tampa Bay. Tampa's a nice area. I really like it a lot. Meredith and I have actually been to Tampa and really enjoyed it. It's a nice area. St. Petersburg, Tampa, all that. Really nice. All right, 2 nautical miles till we cross. All right, coming up on 1. Oh, there's that lightning. Microsoft Lightning. I don't know why it started doing that with the last patch. They evidently they broke something. Like anywhere I fly anywhere with, you know, anytime I fly anywhere with clouds, it wants to thunder and lightning now. All right, 0.6. All right, I think that's as close as it's going to get because of our altitude. So now we're going to do 219. It looks like it disengages the autopilot when you hit the VOR. It disengages or decouples the nav portion of it, your lateral navigation. All right, there we go, 219. So we're going to grab it, and we're going to start our descent down to 1,700 feet. So let's do that as well. Oh no, not that. Alright, there we go. And we're going to get our speed, you know, actually I guess we need to do 90. If we were timing this, I kind of going through the motions like we would be timing this, like if we didn't have a DME and we timed it. Even though we're not actually going to do that. We're going to about the 5 DME outbound, and we'll start our procedure turn. And that turn will need to be 264 degrees. So what we're going to do is set that into heading. All right, there we go, 264. So as soon as we get to the 5 DME, we'll hit the we'll go to heading mode or heading select on the autopilot, and then we'll fly that. As soon as we go wings level, we'll time for 1 minute. That's what he said he liked to do. He said some people start the time as soon as they start the turn. It varies. But we're going to do it as soon as we go wings level. We'll start a 1 minute timer. All right, we're coming up on the 3.3. And we're coming up on 1,700 feet, so that wasn't a problem at all. We lost that altitude really quick. Have to come open on the throttle just a little bit. A little bit bumpy up here today. It most definitely is. We're getting bumped around just a tad. Well, I thought we were going to be at 1,700 right about the 5 DME. The plane's still kind of dinking around trying to get to 1,700 feet. Alright, looks like we're on 17 now. Alright, 5 DME, so we're going to go ahead and hit heading select. As soon as we go wings level, we'll start our timer. All right, wings are level. Starting 1 minute timer now. All right, getting a little bit slow. We need to get some more throttle going there. All right, we'll do this for a minute, and then now we need to track the 039 back inbound. We got to get this dialed back in. It sucks so bad doing this with a mouse, especially when you're getting bumped around all over the damn place. Three, 5, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. All right, so we got that. See what our timer looks like. 12 seconds. Five. All right, we're good there. So let's go ahead and start our turn back inbound. And we're going to come back in on a 084 heading. 084, so let's get to that. Oh, come on. My... Alright, well, the planes want to take us back around the other way. You can go either direction. You can go either direction. It's just gonna, it's gonna cut off your, you know, how much distance you have on your final approach. He said he liked to go to the outside. They gave him a longer final approach. Go to the inside, then it cuts your distance off a little bit, but I think we'll be alright. Now, we have to be established on that 039 radial before we can start our descent down to 1,000 feet to our decision height. So we'll do that a little bit fast. That's going to be we're only about 7.5 nautical miles out. That's going to be a really short, that's going to be a short final and having to get down. We'll see how it works out. We'll go with it as it is. Well, anytime now. Anytime would be great. Yeah, we're gonna be like right on top of the field by the time we get to descend. I think I see the field over there now. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, so okay, I've got the runway in sight, so yeah, we'll be alright. We actually only need to lose 700 feet to get to decision height, so that'll be fine. I definitely should have, I see what he's saying, making your procedure turn to the outside instead of the inside, because it just gives you that extra distance. He said doing 90 knots in a Cessna, you should estimate, I think he said 3.3 nautical miles to do your 180. Where your procedure turn will add 3.3 nautical miles. Damn, this wind is horrible. All right, so we go down to 1,000 feet, and we need 1¼ miles visibility. That's not a problem today. It's beautiful weather, minus this wind and the lightning, but 1,000 feet would be our decision height. And if we were looking at our METAR, our weather, you know, our clouds would need to be 1,000 feet and 1¼ mile visibility to even attempt this. You know, if it was 500 feet base, there'd be no point in even trying it. All right, we're gonna go to nav mode. We're gonna let the plane track inbound. And as soon as it gets established, we'll drop it down to 1,000 feet. Okay, she's turning inbound. I'm gonna say that establishes wings level. So we're gonna go down to, no, that's not what I need. You know what? No autopilot, we don't need that. We'll do it ourselves. Alright, we do need to bleed some speed off here. If we can. Alright, there we go. It is gusty today. It is gusty for sure. Holy crap. Alright, let's head down now. Definitely high on the approach. I don't think we would be able to do this in real life with that 23 knot crosswind. I mean, I don't know what the numbers are for the 172, but you can see we're approaching decision height now, which we're fine. We don't have to worry about that. Go ahead and get full flap so we can get on down. That wind is horrible. Holy shit, this reminds me of flying into Oshkosh. It was like that too. And it's so gusty, like you're doing 75 knots and then you're doing 65 knots and then you're doing, you know, 70 knots. Alright, we're still high, but everything's looking... We can get on down a little bit here. Definitely need to fly that procedure turn away from your away from the airport. I get that now. Alright, we're finally on it. Alright, be red. Looking good. Dude, the wind's not reading. Oh, there we go. The windsock. Now it did. Okay, I was like, that's not right at all. Like we had a hellacious tailwind. Alright, we're down. Welcome to St. Petersburg. Got another VOR approach under our belt. That wasn't bad. That's not, I've got, you know, I am by no means an expert on this at all. I'm far from it, but I definitely feel like I've got a little bit of a better basic understanding as far as like what you need to do and that sort of thing. So anyway, we're going to end it here with this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions, or any of you out there that are really super familiar with this stuff can help me out. It'd be greatly appreciated. And we'll catch you in the air next time. Peace.